think it was because yeah, my gameplay needs to be better, and I don't
Okay,
know how to get back.
I see. So do you? Is there something you want to like focus on, or is it gonna be like pretty much anything that I see I should mention?
Specifically, how to win lane hard and how to convert it into a win.
Okay, okay, that's a common one, right? How do you win lane, and then by winning lane, you win other lanes, and then you end up winning the game because you're snowballing, right? So, um, now tell me, how does someone win lane then?
Um, Taking good trades and then kill the enemy or freeze them away from minions.
Okay, so far you know that there are some ways you can win lane, right? So one of them is what you mentioned. You take good trades, and then you can kill the enemy, and then by doing so, you'll create like a gold advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can take good trades and then freeze, and the same thing, gold advantage. But what if you can't do either, right? What if you're playing against someone who's at the same skill level as you? So usually no one's gonna die, right? No one's gonna take bad trades. No one's gonna die. So how do you win lane then? Is it possible to win lane then?
Yeah, if you farm better, you get a gold advantage too.
Oh, say you guys farm, equal farming too, right?
Okay, I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe
so
getting pressure from the jungler and not dying to ganks.
yeah, we can start here. This is good. Okay, so what you just said, right? Getting jungle pressure, not dying to ganks. That's one way to win lane, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
if you draw the enemy bot, then your jungler is gonna go and screw them over somewhere else, and then they don't get anything bot, and you get something else on the other side of the map. Boom, you won. You won. Maybe not necessarily your lane, but someone else's lane and the jungler, right?
Mm-hmm.
One common cookie cutter strategy to win lane is to push, right? This enables you to generate a CS advantage, right? Because they're going to be farming under tower. It allows you to have pressure because you can roam first. It baits the enemy jungler into ganking you because he's saying, "Oh, my bot's getting pushed in, so they're losing CS. So I gotta gank for them, or my bot lane's losing." Right? So by nature of pushing, we can win lane without having to kill anyone or generate a gold
Okay.
advantage, right? So if you're in a pushing situation, you're winning, right? And if they
Mm-hmm.
gank you and they fail, you're winning the jungle now, right? And then you're gonna win another lane if your jungle ganks another lane. So, um,
I already have a question.
yeah, go for it.
I've watched some streams from OFG Scythe, if you know him.
Oh yeah, kind of.
Yeah, he was the analyst from C9, and he said that you shouldn't push the wave as a lane bully, and yeah, actually he said you shouldn't push as it doesn't matter which ADC you play, you shouldn't push the lane. But I don't know.
That's interesting. I mean, many different players have different philosophies on the game, right? So all I'm teaching you is what has worked for me, right? So
Okay.
this is exactly what I do, right, in my games, right? This is how I generate an advantage, right? You look for good trades, but first and foremost, you push to create pressure, and then you can look to ward and roam, right? Say for example, there's a fight breaking out in the river, okay? Who is
Mm-hmm.
gonna get there first? Like, assuming everyone's gonna go help, who gets there first?
Because we are pushing the lane.
Exactly. So the lane that's pushing has pressure, right? Because they can help the team, which means that if if some fight breaks out on the bottom half of the map, then you have an advantage already, right? Just by nature of pushing, right? So your Lee Sin knows he can get scuttle without being scared. Maybe he can invade. Maybe he can go take their plants. He can do a lot of things, right? But if you're getting
Mm-hmm.
pushed in, for example, maybe his buff is gonna get invaded, etc., etc. So
So if I get pushed into tower and something happens in our jungle, should I help them or should I stay in my lane and farm?
you should always help, right? Unless it is
Okay.
hopeless, right? Unless it's just like literally impossible. Like your mid laner is dead, so it's gonna be a 3v4. Then you just spam ping back because there's no way you're gonna win that, right? If you can help though, you should help, right? That's like the iron rule in solo queue. If you can help, go help. If you ever watch like higher ranked games of like Korean streams, the instant a fight breaks out, like anywhere within one lane's distance of where you are, everyone goes immediately. They stop what they're doing and they go. Unless they can push like really fast, like unless they're like Saber or something, they just clear the wave and go. They just drop what they're doing and go, right? Because the side that gets there first is usually gonna win. If it's an even numbers fight, right, and nothing catastrophic has happened. Okay, what's going on here? Sorry, we had a discussion on the laning. about pushing, so I kind of missed this level 1. But this is good, right? This is good. Pushing for level 1 is good, right? You know that because you get level 2 first, and then you can maybe go for a trade if you get level 2 first, right? So, okay, here's one thing of note. When you are level 2, right? Can't you stand like right here, for example? What's wrong with like being in this area?
I can get hooked by Nautilus.
Oh, okay, I see. He started hook. Okay, that's interesting. No, that's good then. That's fine. I was like, it's kind of weird. Why would he start hook? Okay, that's good. Never mind. Interesting.
So basically, when I get level 2, I should zone them very hard.
Yeah. When you get level 2 and they don't have level 2, then that means they can't fight you, right? Unless they have like a cheese jungler, like Elise did blue buff and came down immediately, or something stupid like that, right? They can't fight you. So that's your cue to go in because you have a level advantage, right? So far so good, right? You're pushing them in. So tell me, how does one die to a gank when you're trying to generate an advantage like this?
Low HP and no wards, maybe.
Yeah. You mentioned one of the big ones, right? No HP is a big one because even if you don't have wards, right? Say Master Yi is ganking and you have no wards, it's like you just walk away, right? So warding is a way to help you defend against ganks, but the surefire way of getting away is having enough HP and having your flash up, right? Having summoners. Okay, so here you opt to go get vision instead of maybe looking for tower damage or going for damage. That's good, right? Against catch supports, it's hard to do anything under their tower. So one thing you can do right here. So no, remember how we were saying how, like, pushing is winning. How does that make sense? So here, what can you do after you push this in? What are some things you can do?
I could go roam, for example.
Okay, where could you roam to?
Mid lane or in the jungle. Invading.
Okay. And what are you trying to get out of the roam?
In the best case, a kill.
Whoa, let's not think too greedy. Like, what will happen 9 times out of 10, right? You're gonna walk in there, but how can you know you're gonna get a kill before, you get there, right? You don't have a Katarina, so if a fight breaks out, you're gonna lose. It's gonna be 3v4. So what is like the goal here? You should always be thinking like, what do I want here, right? And what you want is something that'll happen 9 times out of 10, right? You can't say I want to kill because can you make it happen 9 times out of 10 with your life depending on it? Probably not, right? So
no.
What is something you can get 100% by roaming right now?
Deep wards, maybe.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so why are deep wards good?
Because you can see the jungler before he ganks you.
Exactly, right? You can see the enemy jungler. Everyone knows where he is. Top can push, right? You see the enemy jungler. Maybe you see him going to wolves. Lee's like, come here, and then you guys one-shot him, right? Stuff like that. So using this time, you can go and do something. You had like kind of the right idea by throwing out this ghost, but you have 2 trinket wards, right? So and you have a lot of time because there's like a bunch of minions here. So one thing you can do is roam all the way to this pixel bush in the river and ward it. That's a good spot because warding the river entrances means that the jungler cannot get into the river, right, without you knowing, unless he takes like blast cone or he uses like a mobility option over a wall, right, which is unlikely. So if you can ward these entrances with your 2 trinket wards, really strong. Even better, get a deep ward onto their gromp, right, and then ward right over the blue buff. It's still both sides, right? Still both sides of the jungle warded. So that's something you can do instead of like waiting around in lane. What else can you do?
Could try to arrest them on the tower.
Yes, but in this case, probably not a good idea, right? So it's good that you know that option. Why is it not a good idea in this case?
Yeah, because Nautilus can hook me.
Yeah, I was just fucking hook Alistar and everybody's like, oh shit, get out. Right? And then this is the third option is the classic solo queue option, right? If you had generated an HP advantage, you can camp this bush, right? You can put a pink in there and you're like, all right, come into lane so I can beat you up, right? Those are your 3 basic options, right? You can get something out of lane, you can harass them, or do tower damage, and then you can camp a bush to zone them, right? So those are your basic options after pushing. So just by like, does it make sense how I say pushing is strong, right? Pushing wins you the lane, it gives you options, right? Does that make sense? Yeah. Because they can't do anything if you push. Because what can they do? They can look to engage on you, but they have to miss CS on your tower to do so. They can try and match farm, but that's like bad because they don't get any advantages out of it, right? And then they can go roam, but they lose six minions, right? So it's pretty much, if you're getting pushed in, you better have like a scaling matchup, right? And matching farm is good. Okay, that's awkward. You got hooked, but honestly, the trade went equal. That's good, right? Don't chase this though. Okay, wow, that was clean. Whew, wow, that was a nice snipe. Okay, now you have an HP advantage. Stop. What is your goal now?
Freezing and zoning.
Okay, what happens if you stay in freeze and they back?
If I see them going back, then I should probably try to push, but since it's a cannon wave, I can push fast enough, so I just go back to.
Well, how do you know if they're gonna back or not? That's the question, right? How do you know what they're gonna do?
Well, I would have to walk up to the turret.
Right, exactly, and then it's like kind of spooky because where's the jungler? You're lacking HP on Alistar, and they have a Nautilus, right? So in this case, you can in fact push, right? After all this shit has gone down, you're gonna like assuming like she has so low health, you can assume she's gonna back, right? So you said your options was like freeze, back now, and then maybe you can't push. Maybe you can't push because it's a cannon wave, right? Like you said. So maybe you can just back immediately, or you can camp this bush, right? If you back in this bush, they have no idea. Something along those lines. But here, I would probably push, right? Push as much as you can and then back, because Alistar can combo the wave. Like worst case scenario, you need to push right now. Just combo the wave, right? You see Master. Oh wow, they do have a Master E. Yeah, Master E is like not even here. So. But yeah, I think you can push. You could push this in, right? Okay, you're gonna push the next wave, right? Yeah. Push the next wave and then back, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so they lose the minions. So Misfortune doesn't get the minions.
Yeah, you get as much money as you can before you get back, and then they have to deal with this shit, so they can't stop your backs, right? So.
Yeah.
Okay, good. What is an alternative you can do to backing here? That I would not recommend, but just so you know you have options, what else can you do?
You mean camping in the brush again?
Yes, camp this bush if you are strong enough, right? If their support was low and he was like holding the wave and shit like that, and they face check, boom, that's how you catch him. Or you could roam, but in this case, you don't really have the items to roam yet. So,
okay.
Still, the options are the same, right? The options are almost the same. Okay, so you get the boots and you get a control ward, good. As long as you think you're not going to get harassed out of lane, this is a good option, I would say, right? So far, so good.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
If I want to abuse the CD of maybe Nautilus hook, is it clever to engage as the ADC or just ping the support to engage?
Okay, so this is the question is, how do you basically bait the enemy support into missing their stuff, right? You know, how do you like abuse Nautilus hook cooldown, right? Kind of. Is that like the question? Or is it like,
no,
if he misses, what can I do?
If he misses and I want to abuse it, but I don't know, should I engage or should I spam ping my support to engage?
Okay, assume he uses it on the wall right here on accident, right? You can sit between Misfortune and the minions as long as your Alistar is near you, right? Because what happens if Misfortune tries to hit you? Boom, comboed, right? As long as you're not tanking ranged minions, you can just stand between. You can just do like a bunch of damage to her, right? Like right now, assuming he had like no hook or whatever. But yeah, that's basically what you do, right? You look to fight if they miss an ability, right? That's the general idea. So as the AD carry, it's perfectly fine to walk up and hit them if they can't fight you, right? If they fight you, they have no Nautilus hook, right? Assuming it has like a super long cooldown, there's nothing they can do, right? So this is a good trade, right? The classic rend, kill a minion, and throw a Q at the same time, really good. It's kind of awkward, but it doesn't matter in the long run. So what I noticed is that this is dangerous, right? Right there. Why was that dangerous?
I can get hooked, and I don't have vision on the river.
Yes, that's the important thing. You don't have vision on the river, right? So one of the things you mentioned earlier about ganks was, if you can see them, you know when to run away, right? So before you do stuff like this, like trying to be proactive, you should push and go ward first, right? That should be your baseline. Because if you don't go ward, you have to wait until Yi shows up on the map before you can do anything, right? Doing something like this is saying, I want you to hook me, and I'm gonna flash it because Yi's gonna come out. Assuming Yi comes out, that would mean you trade your flash for their gank, right? And by doing so, is absorbing jungle pressure. That's good. But it's like super risky if Nautilus throws out that hook and Yi isn't even here, and you have to flash it, right? So yeah, LSR wants to go ward. That's good. You guys should go ward. Okay. One thing to note on the blue side is maybe you want to check the blast cone, right? Because that's one of the ways the jungler can get over into like right here. But this is you're doing like really good in trading, right? I have no complaints about your laning, right? This is really clean, basically. He's doing a bunch of damage, nothing you can do. Okay, you're still okay. Okay, what happened here?
I panic flashed.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think you're okay there. That's kind of awkward, but so it looked like you knew you really wanted the damage, but you didn't know if you're gonna die if you get hooked, right? So one indicator is, does he have ignite? I don't know because I can't see the tab, but if you had ignite, maybe panic flashing would be okay. But whenever you make like a play like that, make sure you make sure you're expecting the hook, right? So don't go that far in, basically, if you're gonna get hooked. Because now you have no flash, right? So what we discussed earlier was an indicator of a gank, right? Having no flash, having no health is a sign that you could die to a gank, right? So especially you have no flash, they're gonna hit 6, he's gonna ult you have no options, right? Alistar has to combo 3 people or something in order for you to get away. So now you guys are gonna get pushed in because you have no flash, right? So so one thing already, you said like, how do I win lane? You were winning lane, and then losing flash lost you like pressure you could have had in order to do something more, right? You could be pushing here. Yeah, but by like, so you were like winning the lane, but now it's like what's it called? It's like stagnating, right? It's even. They have full health, you have full health. Everyone's like equal strength. No one's pushing. So you guys are even right now, right? If you can push, you should push always, right? You have Lee Sin on your side of the map. It's gonna be 4v4. If you can push, you should push. But you're running out of mana, so that could be awkward, right? You need to save your mana. Every time you use your Q, you as Kalista, if you miss, that's like a lot of mana missing, right? So if you pause here, what can you use? What abilities can you use in an all-in?
My ultimate.
And what else?
Combo from Alistar.
You can't, right? Ultimate costs 100 mana. So you only have a rend and an ultimate. You can't use your Q, right? So you're missing like damage or you're missing mobility by not having enough mana, right? So in lane, unless you can get like a fat trade, you need enough mana to do one rotation of your damage abilities, right? Like this Misfortune. If she was level 6 but she had 0 mana, she's useless, right? Because she can't ult. Can't ult without mana. This is kind of risky because Yi could be right here, right? So I'm not sure about this one, but looks like it turns out okay. Yeah, okay, you're dead. yeah. See, okay, yeah, that's okay. So let's back it up. Wow, okay, nice, you got a kill. Okay, the result was good, but you shouldn't have gotten a kill, right? Are you agreed with me here? Yeah. So even if the result is good, you play this fight 100 times, you're not gonna get that kill 100 times, right? So well, not 90 times, I should say. So the reason why I knew you're dead is because whenever you want to do something, you need a ward first, right? Whenever you want to make a proactive play, you need to know where the enemy team is, right? Otherwise, you have to assume they're right next to you, right? So that's what I was doing. I was assuming he was right next to you because I had no idea where Master Yi was. That's like one way to throw the lane, right?
Yeah,
is,
that
making
happened to me.
Yeah. We saw it twice already. So you can't make plays without incomplete information unless you're very sure of this play, right? You know, without a doubt in your mind, you can 2v3. Go for this, because if Yi comes out, you're expecting it, right? But when I saw this, I was like, Yi's gonna come out and you're gonna die. That's what I was thinking, at least. So basically, it comes down to before you do anything, you need to push and get vision first. Okay, before you do anything, I want you to think, I want to push and then get vision before I make these plays. One thing they can do to stop you while you're pushing is if their jungler is like in that bush while you're pushing, they can try and fight you while you're trying to push the wave. That's like an indicator of, you know, that's like one way to stop this pushing strategy, right? Their jungler is already there before you start to push. So yeah, now you're kind of in an okay spot, but you were like doing really well for like the first 5 minutes up until, you know, kind of that point.
Yeah.
So see what Alistar is doing, right? The only reason why he can go ward before pushing is because he knows the enemy back, right? That's like one way to do it, right? So if you can't push us fast enough, one thing I do is I go ward that bush immediately, right? Or I go ward deep ward immediately, and then I come back to this wave. Because sometimes you're playing a champion that can't push this fast enough, right? So you go ward before the enemy gets to lane. So here, you want to here. Okay, so you're at the point where cannon. It doesn't matter if it's cannon wave or not, right? Once you have enough money to push a cannon wave, you should always push a cannon wave at this point. So some shit's going on top. This has nothing to do with you, unless Yi joins the fight, in which case it does have something to do with you because you gave him some money. Okay, some shit's going down. I can't tell what's going on. It's like Corki and Nar fighting, Katarina, Swain. I don't even know what's going on. But anyways, you're still pushing here. Okay, so now you saw. So, how often do you look at the map when you lane or when you play the game?
I don't know, not very often, but from time to time.
Here's a better question: how often should you look at the map?
I don't know, every 5 seconds maybe.
That's a good general rule. Basically, it's whenever you have downtime, you should look at the map. And what I mean by downtime is something like you push them in, you're going to ward, and you have downtime, you look at the map, right? Something like that. Or between CS and they're like chunked out, they can't fight you. You look at the map, right? So if you looked at the map during the fight, you would have noticed that Yi was not in the fight, right? So you have to assume Yi's bot because he didn't go. Because people will go help the fight within one lane's distance. So if he was anywhere in the top jungle, he would have gone to help, which means that he's in the bot jungle, right? So if you die to some like Nautilus play here, it's because Yi is like right here, right? Yeah, and it's super scary for Kalista because okay, yeah, Yi went to fight top. Okay, now we know. Now you know. That's good. You looked at the map. That's good. Now you know it's a 2v2. Good to go. Good to go. So why are you scared here? Tell me.
I don't know. Alyssa was sitting in the brush behind me. I thought he was maybe AFK or something.
Oh, okay. I see. And then he walks up. So then, but you're still playing kind of scared here, right? You're like afraid to hit her.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I want to know like your what you were thinking in this case, right? It's a 2v2, and you're thinking you can't win, right? That's why you're playing safe. So why are you thinking you can't win?
I mean, I couldn't see any enemy on the map, so I thought maybe someone is here.
Wait, hold on. We just saw everyone die though. You pinged,
okay.
you pinged the Master Yi, and then everyone died top. So, you should know it's a 2v2, right? Theoretically speaking. Yeah, that's why like looking at the map when you have downtime is like super important. That way you like this is good. Like if you didn't know where they were, playing safe is good, right? Because the same thing would happen if you made a play and that like Master Yi came out or whatever, someone came out that you weren't expecting, you're gonna lose. So it's good that you know you should play safe when you don't know where they are. Now you just have to do that the other time as well. You know what I'm saying? Okay, this is scary, right? The reason being, oh wow, okay, she messed up her play. Okay, let's back it up. Okay, how do we explain this? So in this 2v2 scenario, how do you know if you win the fight or not?
If I don't get hooked by Nautilus.
Okay, that's one thing. What else? What if you just get ulted?
Is I just hope that Kalista can cancel the misfortune ult, for example.
Right, but what if she flashes his combo? Then aren't you screwed?
I could ult Kalista, so he could stop her.
But at that point, you're already dead, right? So say, my point is, what do you do if Nautilus ults you, and then Misfortune's walking you up? Ali combo, she flashes and ults you while you're in the air, right? You have no options. So, basically, if you ever try and fight, you need to first like think about how this fight is gonna play out, right? If you don't have an answer to his hook and his ultimate, you can't fight, right? So trying to fight here is like questionable. You're just hitting him because he's in range, right? Right. So before you fight, you need to ask yourself, what do I need to not get hit by in order for this to work? And what do we need to land in order for this to work? So you said to yourself, you need to land the alley combo, and you need to not get hit by Nautilus. So it's lucky that you got the alley combo, but damage is already done, right? Even if that Corki hadn't come in, you guys would have lost this, right? So also, he got here really quick, but yeah, you need to. Those are like the things you need to think about before you fight, right? So yeah, this is part of the. This is all laning, like you said. You had a really clean 5 minutes, but then after that point, I think you needed to figure out, like, if you knew to push and then to ward before making a play, it would have like prevented you guys from dying to that Yi gank, I think. And then it's like all this like crap is going on now. Okay, this could be good. Katarina is pretty broken. Holy shit. Okay, good result, I guess. It was good enough. The only reason that can you tell me why you guys win this?
And they used all their skills to kill me, so Katarina had 3 kills basically.
What's the more important piece to this part? How many people do you guys have, and how many people do they have?
3 versus 3. As with Katarina incoming.
Okay, hold up. On the map, who is within one lane's distance?
Lee Sin, Katarina, me, and Kalista.
Yes, you have 4 people. What about them?
At the moment, I can only see Nautilus and Misfortune and Corki.
So you have to assume anyone who's out of vision is also in range, right?
Yeah.
So they have 4 people, right?
Why 4? Why not 5?
Cause let me see. I think some shit happened. Oh wait, never mind. They don't have. Never mind. Yi is top. Yi is top. I didn't notice, but interesting. Oh, he could be walking down. Oh, the point I was getting at was they didn't have 4 people. They had 3 people, right? Because Yi was like doing some shit. Okay, so basically what I saw was that Yi should have been here. So it should have been a 4v4, which is why Katarina shouldn't have like killed everyone. But turned out that Yi was top because I like fast forwarded a little bit. But basically, numbers advantage will matter the most in a fight, right? Doesn't like unless some insane mechanical thing happens, like any one shots the enemy support or something, right? Unless something like that happens, the team with more people is gonna win, right? So if Yi was here, this Katarina probably wouldn't have gotten all this for free, right? Like Yi's just like killing her right now or something. But Yi is top, so it's kind of a weird point to make. But basically, so far, what I've seen from your play is to change what you're doing right now, you need to push, right? Push first, and then go get an advantage, right? Go get vision, go get something, and then before you fight, ask yourself, how many people are in this fight, right? If this fight breaks out, how many people do we have? And then the last thing you need to think about is, what do I need to land and what do I need to not get hit by, right? Those 3 things is all of what this has been so far, right? Your CSing is fine. You know how to hit people as Kalista, right? I saw you grand Q this misfortune a bunch of times, right? You know how to do damage. You don't need to work on any of that stuff. Now it's about the whole what should I be doing at this stage kind of thing. Okay, so if fight breaks out, how do you know this goes badly?
Lee Sin is still in base. Wayne is top lane, so he's not in range from. He's not in lane. What was the
one lane's distance, right?
1 lane's distance, yeah, right.
He has TP though, so I guess that count. Like if they have TP, that counts, right? So if you throw in TPs, that counts as being within distance. But apparently, like Swain kills himself, so that's kind of weird. Now you know for sure this doesn't work. So you run like hell, right? You run. This Katarina is doing something boosted. You know this is an automatic loss, right? So you should not fight this. 100%. Doesn't matter what happens unless you can one-shot someone right now. Right now, you should run.
Okay.
Can you one-shot anyone?
So should I just run or
Yes.
spam ping and run?
Spam ping and run. Spam ping and run. There's nothing you can. Literally nothing you can do unless you can unless Katarina, Ali, and you focus one dude somehow. There's nothing you can do, right? So you say you ping the Master Yi, he flashes. Okay, you guys lost, right? So you run. There's nothing you can do. And Ali, Alistar fucks up the combo, right? So now there's definitely nothing you can do. So you don't take this fight no matter what happens, right? Oh my god. Okay, well I guess Katarina is doing a lot of damage, but not a bad result, honestly. Let's watch this again. How did you guys...
I got some stacks on Nautilus, and then I got one on Yi, so I got the rent reset.
Jesus, that's pretty good. Yeah, so basically, the way you want... Oh wait, she's not ulting. Okay, basically you won this because you out mechanicked them, right? You outplayed them through mechanics, but it's not. That's like not the recommended way to win fights, right? Like, okay, say you're you know the Riot has that replay system where you can like play it back from any point. I forget what it's called, but it's like they can reset the game to a certain point. If you play this fight out 100 times, how many times can you win this fight?
Depends on my mechanics, so I don't know.
You have no idea, right?
I don't know.
I have no idea, right? But it's what we do know is that it's not consistent. So I would like, even though the result was good, you shouldn't have gone for this fight unless you knew for sure, without a doubt in your mind, you could win this because XYZ, right?
Yeah.
So this kind of depended on your opponent's like playing boosted, right? Like for example, what if Nautilus hit you right here, right? So you're rooted and you can't flash, and Misfortune ults you. So then after you flash, you're already at 30%, right? So something like that could happen. And if you don't have a plan for that, like then it's like shouldn't be taking these fights. But I know it's like weird to criticize you for something when like it had a good result, but it's like
I get it.
Yeah. It shouldn't work, right?
Yeah.
Something like this shouldn't work. Wow, no way. Is he getting away? He's getting away. Wait, he can eat. If he has mana, he doesn't have mana. Oh no, he's getting away. Oh no. Oh my fucking god. All right, yeah. Anyways, so when you look at these fights, you need to try and predict who wins first, right? And the first thing you should note is who has more people. The team with more people wins. Okay, 9 times out of 10. The only reason that kind of went well is because Katarina did 1 million damage and you played that really well, right? So also okay, never mind. I thought you were gonna get dove here. He has no mana. You're good to go. Right. You just clear this out. You wait for your Alistar. Maybe you're playing safe because you know your team's not coming. Lee Sin's going top. That's fine. So you push this out, right? Okay. Now what is your game plan now?
I think I'm trying to get the T1 turret and then roam, help my team.
Okay.
Because I always try to get the first turret before I go to other lanes. I don't know if it's right.
But you're backing here for the Blithering King though. Okay, hold up. Let's pause. Okay. You back here because you want to complete an item, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to, how do I put this? It's like good thinking because this is a strong power spike, but there are a lot of factors here that makes you want to not back here, right? So what's happening is that basically, like you said, you wanted to push by, get that farm, and take the tower, right? And then go help your team. But if you every time you back, you're like missing out on something. So you're gonna lose 6 minions here, right? If you back.
Okay.
Right? Can you tell me why though? Right? Why do I say that?
You mean, yeah, when I go back, I can't get the minions.
Yeah. And at the same time, if you aren't applying pressure, then their bot lane doesn't have to show bot, right? Or their mid lane or their top lane, whatever. No one has to go bot. So if your team is doing something on the other side of the map, but then you back on your side of the map, and then they get like engaged on super hard, it could have like really bad consequences, right? Basically, you don't want to back unless you have to, right? Because here you could be pushing bot right now, but because something's happening on the map and you're not there, that's 4v5, right? So basically, the times when you want to back is like super important items, like Blade of the Ring King this is true, right? Or after something has happened, right? Some play is done, you can't get any more, you back, right? So say you guys make a fight, right? Make a fight happen, you take dragon, you can't get anything more, you back, right? So backing here is like kind of losing out on stuff you could have gotten, right? Which is minions, and maybe the tower, right? Not the tower, but minions for sure. But unless if you thought the Blade of the Ring King was important enough to back, then go for it. So here you always want to push. Okay, so here's another reason.
There was one question for me. If I lose the first turret, sometimes I try to freeze the wave so I can get more farm. But I don't know when I should push.
So the only time I have not done this in the last like 100, 200 games, except like maybe once. The only time you do this is if you're playing a scaling champion and you're so far behind, you're useless even if you go help your team, right? So maybe you're playing Vayne and you're like 0-5. This is what you do. But if you're any bit useful, you need to go help your team, right? Your Kalista, like ult is very useful. Fervor stacks with your Blade of the Ring King, this is like really good, right? So you need to go help your team. Otherwise, you're gonna lose this dragon for free. They're gonna push mid. They're gonna ward your jungle. You can't do anything, right? So you always need to push, right? Because what happens if a fight breaks out right now?
We have a disadvantage, numbers disadvantage.
Right? But what if you leave this wave because you didn't push, right? So your numbers are even, and then the fight breaks out, whatever. They disengage because they see that bot is pushing. You lose 3 waves of minions, and then nothing happened, right? They didn't lose anything, but you guys lost 21 minions of gold. So you always need to push. The only time you freeze is if you're like so desperate that you can't do anything. So you concede all pressure on this side of the map. You don't have to. You are definitely not that far behind, right?
And when the fight breaks out, should I push the wave and then follow, or should I instantly follow?
You should always go follow, but in this case, the fight wasn't breaking out yet, right? I would say you go. I would leave this the instant they touch dragon, right? So you push this. You're like watching the dragon fight, and you're hitting minions like on autopilot, right? They haven't touched the dragon yet, so I would not have left yet. Basically, when they commit to something, you can say whatever you want, right? If they hit the Baron, or maybe if they get inside the Baron area, right? Something like that. Then you go. So create that kind of like, if they do this, I go kind of mentality. Like if they do X, I do. I do. If they do this, I do this. Okay, so the reason why you shouldn't fight here is because quirky package is like strong, right? This is kind of like champion specific, but in this kind of fight, if you fail and engage, you lose the fight, right? So this is good that you should stay back. You should ult this guy because he's gonna die. Okay, now you're dead. This is awkward. Oh, you are not dead somehow. Wait, let's back this up. What the hell happened? Oh, Lee Sin kicked his and Corky's not here yet. This is interesting. This is an interesting fight. This turns out good. Oh, here comes the Corky. Doesn't matter. This is spicy. You guys are gonna die, huh? Oh, maybe you can win this. Nice try, I guess. Okay, let's back it up. Okay, so it's kind of awkward. How do I? Okay, basically, this is my rule of thumb. Don't join the fight unless you can't die. Right? Don't join the fight unless you can't. Okay, so like basically, what I mean by die is, if you get hit by this, you die. So what are those things in this fight?
Nautilus Q, ultimate, and just Marcy jumping on me with his Q.
Yes. Okay, and the Corky package, right? You can't 1v1 Corky because Corky is a solo laner. So and he's burst damage. So unless you flash his Q, you can't fight him. So that's why I was saying you don't want to take this fight until the quickie package is gone. Basically, wait out their abilities, right? If your team is doing something stupid and you can't follow up, don't follow up, right? This Alistar is so deep, it's like not possible it's not possible for you guys to win this fight. And when he's like super deep like this, I don't know, because if you get hit by hook, it's like really bad, right?
I think I just tried to save him desperately.
Yeah. Don't, like, if he kills, he has ultimate. He's gonna walk out. Don't worry. He's gonna walk out to you, stand between Nautilus and the hook, and you can ult him or something like that, right? You should be okay. But don't take the fight unless you have an obvious advantage. That's like the main thinking you should have in solo queue, right? Don't take the fight unless you have an advantage. Okay, so far the advantages we've seen in this game is numbers advantage, right? Count how many people are on the map. If you have more people, take the fight, because your team is gonna win 9 times out of 10. If they have more people, don't take the fight. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna lose. In this case, an even number, how do you know if you win a fight or not? Right, this is 4v4.
Who hits more abilities?
Yes. Who hits more shit is gonna win, right? So you're at this point of the state, like the game, where you can't. It's like you hitting your abilities is just auto attacking, right? And then them hitting their abilities is like ulting you or queuing you. So you have to wait until they use it on someone else, right? Like Alistar, and then you can go in. So I knew this was a loss because Alistar misses abilities, right? If he uses CC on someone who can't be followed up on, that's a waste. So I knew this was a loss. So anytime you recognize, if you can recognize that this is a lost cause, like this started out poorly, you should try and run, right? Don't take this fight, right? Don't take this fight. I like, if that quirky had packaged on you, right, when that hook came out, that would have been like tragic, right? Yeah. So basically the name of the game is trying to recognize like if a fight is good or bad, right? So far we've only seen fights that are like kind of obvious, right? Really started out really good or started out really bad. If it starts out bad, don't take the fight. If it starts out good, take the fight, right? So one example of a fight starting out really good is if Lee found an insect onto Misfortune and hit everyone in the line, right? That would be obvious, right? That would be like a good thing. So then you make that play, right? But if something like that doesn't happen, you have to wait until that line of play happens, or you can try and create it yourself. But Kalista versus Nautilus, you probably can't do it yourself, right? So you have to wait for your team to do something, right? So like, because we knew the fight started out poorly, we predicted that you guys would lose, and you guys did lose. The only reason it was close is because Katarina was like killing a bunch of people. But yeah, Quirky came out with a quadra kill, so that was not too good. Okay, Alistar kills himself apparently. So yeah, basically you need to push. You need to push. Honestly, the name of the game, I think, if you can do the pushing, if you can just fix this pushing thing and then counting how many people are coming to the fight, that's like 8 out of 10 of your problems, or something like that, right? That's like 80% of your problems this game, at least, right? Push first, then go get wards in, right? Push first. You always need to push first. Because Alistar died, you can't push, right? That's kind of awkward, but that's kind of a scary word to go for. You can't go farm this, right? Tell me why you can't go farm this.
Wait a second, I'm writing down.
Okay.
Okay, what did you ask?
Tell me, why can you not be in this side of the jungle?
My support is dead.
Yes, that is like the big one. So you have a numbers disadvantage, your support is dead, your team is a top side, right? So if a fight breaks out, it's just you. So all they have to do is send 2 people. So that's Master Yi and Nautilus. Boom, right there. Can't do anything if they're sitting in this bush or something like that, right? So you can't push without dying. You can't 1v1 Master Yi, right? You don't have a Phantom Dancer, you don't have armor, you don't have anything like that. So here you should be dead, right? If Master Yi is here, you'd be dead. So always count the people near you, right? Within 1 lane's distance. That's how many people you have in your team, right? If they can't blow you up, if you can stall for time, then that's how many people are going to be in the fight, right? So yeah, so the reason why this top play doesn't work is because Alistar is dead and you're a bot, right? So they're playing 2v4, 2v5. Because you don't know where the enemy team is, you have to assume that the enemy is there. It's going to be 2v5. So I already knew that they were going to lose. 2v4.
Miss Fortune is
2v4.
also dead.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, 2v4 then. 3v4 if you count Katarina, right? So okay, some shit's going on. You guys had a numbers disadvantage, so it's pretty clear that you guys would lose this fight, right? So what's going on is that you get here late. It didn't matter even if you got here on time, probably, and then everyone has to run, right? Oh wow, he's chasing. So one indicator of one way to win an even fight is if a team chases, right? That's one way. So this is 2v2. They're chasing. You can win, right? Boom. Nice. The reason why you can win is because the team that is chasing is going to get turned on, right? If they can't like complete their chase, they're gonna get hit by every ability. So they get hit by combo, get hit by Ren, hit by Q. So that's one way to win an even fight, right? Another way to win an even fight is by vision, right? Team face checks, they're gonna lose. Or positioning. Someone gets TP flanked on, they're gonna lose, right? Something like that. So those are all ways to win even fights, but I don't think you need to study those just yet, right? All you need to do is just is this fight in our favor? Go for it, right? That's all you need to do. And push first, then do something. So here, push first and then do something. Okay, so what are some things you can do here?
Hit the turret, getting deep wards. Yeah, and I don't know.
Camp a bush, right?
Right. I forget that all the time.
Hit the tower, go get wards, maybe hit the person guarding it, camp a bush. Those are your options, and like roaming is included, right? So here, can you hit the tower without getting engaged on?
His rage bar is very low, so I guess it's okay.
First is numbers. First we look at numbers advantage.
Oh, okay. Swain is bot lane, Lee Sin is bot side jungle, Katarina's mid lane, so it's 3v5.
It's pretty spooky, right? Yeah, you don't know what's gonna happen. So so you push and you see what happens, right? So say all three of your laners were pushing. Then what happens is if no one comes to defend the towers, they lose all the minions, and you do it again. You push again, they lose all the minions. You push again, they lose all the minions. So someone has to defend the tower, right? Someone has to show up to stop this. So someone's gonna show up mid, someone's gonna show up bot, and then when they do, that's how you know how many people are defending this tower, right? And then the next thing you said, the rage bar. Can he engage on you? That was really smart because if you had full rage, he could just go on you, right? So that's very good. That's a very strong indicator. So So I asked this because it'll tell you whether or not you can hit this tower, right? So the answer is no, or maybe no. You have to run away really quick. Alistar is probably gonna die because he can't get away. Goodbye, Alistar. Oh, you're gonna die because it's taking too long. Yeah. So, another way to win even numbers fight is the team that tower dives has a disadvantage, right? Holy shit, you're getting away from this. Oh no, you're not. That's awkward. Holy shit, he threw a building into your face. So before anything happened, I could predict, what was gonna happen, right? So if you can recognize this kind of like mindset, if you can like kind of use this, you'll know every time whether you win or not before a fight happens. Before anyone even shows up on the map, you know whether or not you won, right? Do you agree with me? Or do you have any questions about that?
Yeah. No.
Okay, good. Right? So, to make people show up on the map, you push, right? You push and you ward, right? So here, push and ward. Can't hit the tower until you see everyone else. Yeah. So, classic example. So Swain is doing some shit. Swain's taking the 1v1. It was kind of close, but I guess Master Yi can't be stopped because Swain has no CC or something like that. So that's awkward. This is a 1v2, but Master Yi's team is probably they killed him fast. Okay, that was good. So here now, what is the plan here? You killed Master Yi. It's 4v5. What's the plan?
I don't know. Defending mid lane because it's pushing right now.
Okay, what do you want to do after you clear this wave here?
Take the turret mid lane, for example.
Well, first off, we'll say that Kalista is not that great at taking towers, right? Because if you hit the tower, it's hard for you to run away, right? And you don't really do that much damage to the tower. Something like Tristana can do that, but what Kalista is good at is she can,
Baron.
Baron objectives, vision control, right? Because if you go into a bush, they have to be afraid of Kalista ult, right? And if they fight you, right? If you're pushing the wave mid and they fight you for it, you're very good at catching people. You just jump 3 times and you get them with the slow, and then they have to run away, right? So after you clear this wave, your mindset should be, okay, push and then go get something, right? It's always push and get something. Always push and get something. The only time when you don't push and get something is if you're going to prank them when they try and push, right? You sit in this bush and then they try and push and you go on them, right? That's like the only time you would not push, is when you're doing an alternative play, right? So the cookie cutter strategy is push and then go do something. So this fight breaks out. Assuming Swain has TP, you win this, right?
Yeah.
How do you know? It's off the board.
He is still dead. He's
Yes.
just respawned, so it's 5v4 with Swain.
Exactly. Perfect, right? That's how you know. You need to. So every time someone fights, I want you to be thinking about this, right? How many people are coming, right? This is numbers advantage. That's all you need. That's all you need in solo queue. If it's even numbers, don't fight unless it's obvious, right? Like we talked about the Lee Sin, K4 people, whatever. That's obvious. Don't fight unless it's obvious. So you have numbers advantage. You guys kill this tank for free because they can't do anything. Now this Corki is trying to stay and do some stupid shit. He's probably gonna die if he gets in range of any of your team's catches. So the play here is push and go do something, right? So one thing you can do is push and go ward Baron. If you had a control ward, you can put the control ward on Baron, and then they have to be afraid of you doing Baron, right? So they come face check, right? So how do we? One of the things we talked about was how does a team win with even numbers? Vision control, right? They face check. That's one way you do it. You push and you go ward the Baron. They have to come to you because they're afraid of Kalista Baron, and then they face check and they lose the 5v5, right? So those are all things you can. That's like how you win without, getting kills somehow before like all this stuff happened, right? It's just like winning lane is the same thing as winning the game, kind of. Push and go do something, right? That should be your mentality. Okay. Something here could be very hard. Remember how we said you can win if you're at a disadvantage if something insane happens, right? Like the Lee Sin kicks 4 people. What's something that's insane that could happen here?
Do you mean the Misfortune ultimate?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like Gnar, the wombo combo, right? Gnar goes onto you guys and then Misfortune ults, right? So that, I would be very scared of that if I were you guys. So that's why I personally would not hit that tower, right? You push and you go ward Baron, right? And you don't go bot. Tell me why you don't go bot.
They can take Baron then.
Right? And why can they take Baron? Because bot is more than 1 lane's distance away, right?
Yeah.
So you can't go bot, right? So that's why AD carries don't go bot. When Baron is up. Oh, okay. Fight breaks out. Okay. Hold up. Let's watch 10 seconds earlier. Okay. So Yi has spawned, right? Do we know whether or not Swain has TP? If Swain has no TP, you guys do not have a 5th member, right? This is turns out starts poorly, right? Lee Sin's taking a bunch of damage. Insta loss, right? 100% loss. Unless Katarina finds something crazy, you guys are gonna lose this, right? Okay, you guys lost this, right? So how do we know from the get-go?
Swain's top lane, if he doesn't have TP.
Yep, there's 4v5.
But Nautilus is dead, so it's 4v4, but
4v4.
Gnar hit his ultimate on 2 people,
Boom,
and they got 3 damage.
Exactly, that's the insane thing that happened. Gnar hit his ultimate on Alistar, it doesn't matter so much, right? Because he has ultimate, but on Lee Sin, it matters a lot. Because that's an insta kill, right? The example we use is Annie one-shots someone, face checking a bush. This is the same thing. Gnar ults Lee Sin into the wall, and quickly one-shots him, right? So when you see something insane happen that's not good for your team, you gotta run, right? So if I saw something like this, you'd be running, right? Don't even try and fight this. Unless Katarina can find something crazier, you guys are gonna lose this, right? So we already knew it was a loss, right? Lee Sin got caught. Oh god, he's gonna run you down. Oh no, that's pretty stupid. Okay, so so far the kind of the reason why we're losing this game, right, is what? What could we have done differently so far?
We shouldn't take some fights that we knew before that they were lost.
Yeah. That's the big thing, right? Everything else is fine, right? You did well in lane. Maybe you didn't push when you should have pushed. That's fine. But the big thing is taking these fights when you should try and figure out beforehand whether you win or not, right? You always want to take fights you know you win, and you don't take fights where you don't know, right? That's like the underlying theme of this game is push, go do something, and the instant something happens, the instant there's proximity, champion proximity, try and figure out who wins the fight. So you see this, who wins this fight over here?
We.
And how do you know?
We win. Nautilus is top lane, and we have 5 people.
Yes. Perfect. See, this is good. This is good. Now you just got to do this every time in game, right? This is exactly what I do. I'm not like changing this method or anything. Whenever I see something break out, I'm like, what's going on? How many people are there? And then can I take this fight, right? So you guys should be able to win this because they have no Nautilus, right? So what's going on? Corky goes in, whatever, he dies. It's 4v5. You guys are gonna win, right? They didn't even need your help, but you were on the way. So say Corky killed your Katarina, you would have come for the revenge kill, right? So that's how you know. Okay, now that this is good. You're pinging Baron, right? This is good. Once you have gotten an advantage, go get something. This is also another theme in League of Legends. When you have an advantage, get something. The obvious one is kill the enemy team, get Baron. But less obvious ones are pushing a lane and going ward, right? Pushing a lane, going to camp a bush, right? These are all good options. So you guys go to Baron, you guys get this, you rend at 2000 maybe. Oh, Nautilus stops you guys, that's fine. If you guys have to stop Baron, don't do Baron. Corky has package. Okay, this could go poorly if you guys aren't careful. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, just stop the Baron. That's fine. That's 100% fine. Oh, Corky's killing himself. Nope, he jumped out. That's fine. This is all good. That's good. So basically, they stopped your Baron, but that's okay because you got all the money from killing like 5 people, right? So it's okay. So here you need a push, right? You need to push first. This could be scary getting this red, but why do I say it's scary?
We don't see the enemies.
Yeah, exactly. You don't see the enemy, and at this point, the later the game goes on, the faster Yi can kill you before your team gets there, right? So remember the 1 lane's distance rule we talked about? That's like a good general rule, but the later the game goes on, the smaller that distance gets, right? So if we're 60 minutes in the game, people are gonna get 1 shot. So teams have to be closer together. So here, this is scary because they could be like any of these bushes. You have no vision, right? So always be mindful of that. Right?
So would I then just not take the red buff and do something else?
Or you have to ping your Alistar to come help, right? You have to ping your team to come help. Otherwise, you don't do it, right? So the team is taking that fight because everyone saw Misfortune's bot, right? That's why you don't go bot. You're going to push mid. You're going to go Baron. And you're going to get the Baron, right? Hopefully. Okay, this is awkward. You guys aren't getting Baron. What's going on? What's going on? Chasing Nautilus or something? What the heck? Swain's doing blue buff? What is going on? Do the Baron! Alright, yeah, okay. Guys should have Baron. Whatever, it's fine. At least you guys are winning the fights. So, sieging the tower is spooky because you're Kalista, right? Very hard for you to hit the tower, so yes, this is good. You're not hitting the tower. This is very good, right? Don't hit the tower. That's not what your champion's used for, right? Unless you're diving, which you can't against that team. Oh, okay, this could be good. Oh, okay. So why did I say this could be good right here?
I tried we could kill the Master Yi with my ultimate.
Yes. That's what I'm thinking, right? That's something that insane that could happen is Master Yi gets CC'd in the front line because how does Master Yi run away? Like uses ult and right click or some shit, right? It's not very good. So there was potential here, but it's fine, right? Wait for your team to find it. Unless you yourself can make the play, it's very hard against your team. So here you just wait for the enemy team. Okay, here we go. Okay. How do we know it's an instant win?
He's playing tank.
Fucking boosted, dude. I don't know. Yeah, so he just fucking dies. Watch, he's gonna get 1 shot, right? If not 1 shot, he becomes useless, right? So you guys I already know you guys should win. Okay, never mind. Katarina killed herself. So, okay, I think it's still salvageable. Wow. Okay, this is just sad. Okay, everyone runs because it's 3v4, right? Wow. Okay, I'm gonna watch this. Okay, so the only reason why you guys don't win this is because Katarina kills herself, right? That's one of the big reasons, right? So it's good that you don't get hit by this stuff. You want to be hitting the Corky if you can, right? Okay, he flashes and then chasing is not good, right? We discussed chasing is not good. If they like flash and you don't expect it, you should stop the play, right? You can win this still though, right? Why do I say that?
I would have to kill the Master Yi, the Nautilus maybe, because Corki has to go back because he was slow life.
Yeah, you just hit the closest guy and they die. They can't kill you, right? The only way they can kill you is what?
Getting CC'd by Nautilus.
Yes, that's 100% correct, right? So you get hit here, boom, all your health is gone. So, remember, this is one of those rare fight. This is the only team fight. The only team fight in these 27 minutes where you have to team fight correctly to win. Everything else was man advantage, or something crazy happened, you run away or you chase, right? Does that sound accurate? Everything else was like man advantage. This is just like standard team fighting. So in a standard team fight, hit the closest guy, right? Unless you see a play. You see a play. If the play doesn't exist anymore, you hit the closest guy. So here you gotta hit the closest guy. Honestly, I don't think we have to worry about this too much, right? You had the right idea, and it's not like it was a disaster, and it's definitely not all your fault, right? Katarina killed herself, but it was salvageable. But yeah, some shit happens here. I would not worry about this. That was not like the story of this game, right? That's not your main problem. I think you played that relatively well, based on like how badly your team played, right? So I think it was okay. We don't have to worry about that just yet. Okay, but going by here, for example, is something that we did discuss.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
you know that it's okay. Same. This Katarina should not be bought as well, right? Same thing. Because they're just gonna Baron, right? It's fucking. I don't know what's going on, but somehow you're hitting this tower and they're not Baroning, right? Nautilus should not be here. He should be at Baron, right? They should be happy taking Baron trading their bot tower for Baron. They should be very happy, right? Okay, all your team dies. It's 4v3, 100% loss, right? Oh my god, what happened?
That's what I was talking about. I always try to get the T1 turret, but I don't know. I'm so greedy for it.
Don't do that. Okay, so basically, why do you want to get towers? There are several reasons, but why do you want to get towers?
The minions get stronger, I think, if you kill the turrets.
Okay. What else? What are the main reasons people take towers?
You get gold.
Okay. Yes, and
pressure, so somebody has to defend.
Pressure is correct, but basically, if the tower is gone, they have no vision of that area, right? So you're gaining like control over the game, and you get closer to the nexus, right? So those are the main reasons why you take the tower. So tell me now, why do you want to take bot tier 1 after 20 minutes? Is it like worth the risk or whatever, right? Is it if Baron is up, is trying to get the bottom tier 1 tower like worth it, right? You said like the control on that side of the map and the money. So the money is almost like worthless at this point, right? You're not getting these towers for money anymore. You're getting it so you can get control of the game and get closer to Nexus. And then the boss side tower doesn't matter at all, right now, because Baron is like the most important objective, right? So those are reasons why you don't care about bot tower, right? At least, yeah. You don't need to greed for these towers, right? You want to basically, if you can get the tower, that's great. But not all games are won because you get the first bot tower, right? Getting the first tower is not an indicator of a won game or a lost game, right? So it's about like, it's more about like taking these solo queue fights where you have man advantage, you fight. You don't have man advantage, you ping back, right? Stuff like that. If you have vision control, you can do objectives. So don't worry about the towers too much, right? Like hitting that top tower, don't worry about that at all, right? Because that's what got you killed, right? Try first is generate an advantage, right? Pushing, and then get something off that. Go ward, maybe tower damage if you think that's safe, and camp a bush, right? Those are like your main options, stuff like that. That's what will win you games in solo queue, guaranteed. Okay, he goes for something insane. He misses, but I think you can one-shot the Nautilus, right? Okay, good. You guys are still gonna die to Yi though if someone tower dives. Please don't tower dive.
It was not my plan to tower dive.
Yeah, so don't hit this tower, right? Because you only have 2 minions, so you go to Baron here, right? Does that make sense? Or at least you bait the Baron, right? You camp the Baron bush, something like that. Oh wow, you guys are hitting the tower. Okay, yeah. So that's an indicator. Holy, what is going on?
He kicked him in my face. I don't know.
There was just you shouldn't be here anyways, though, right? Because you have nothing to stop him from ulting you. If you just ulted right there, you'd have been very sad. Yi is like right here. You're dead, right? So don't hit that tower, basically.
Yi is dead. We killed him before.
Oh, what the hell? Oh, wait, Corky and Yi are dead. Wait, what's going on? Did I miss something? I missed something here.
I missed it too, I think.
Oh, that's from this. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. Okay, this is fine. This is all good then. Never mind. They had dead people. You're good to go. Yeah, it doesn't matter if
in that case, we should have definitely done Baron.
Yeah, right? Once you get an advantage, what's the best thing you can get? That's the first. Okay, so the mindset is get an advantage, push, whatever. And then what can you get? What's the best thing you can get? So sometimes it's just wards. Sometimes it's just a chance to camp a bush, right? Sometimes it's Baron, right? Like here is Baron. So you're right. You're absolutely right. See, hindsight is 20/20. But here, you guys are gonna die here. There's no way you guys can win, right? Impossible. Because even if you kill the Yi, Corky's gonna kill your ass. So, so how do we know you're not gonna win that fight?
Katarina and Swain are split from us. I don't know.
No. You guys have the numbers advantage, right? So usually, 9 times out of 10, numbers advantage wins, right? We discussed that. But what happens if the team with numbers advantage has 200 HP each?
Katarina and Lee Sin were pretty low HP, and
so it's actually like a 3v3, right? So there's they got one shot. Basically, you guys didn't have enough HP or whatever, so they made the insane play and just like one shot your low health teammates. Like if your teammates maybe kited back and then Alistar comboed them and they went in, you can do the 5v3, but yeah, you don't wanna overchase for this, whatever this is. Like, could you have played this better? I still don't think we have to worry about this. What is the worrying? Like your mechanics are good, right? We don't have to worry about your fighting, your rending, using Q, whatever. Those are all good. The thing that you need to work on is what do I need to do next, right? So here is Baron, right? You call Baron or something, right? Instead of pushing this tower, maybe you can call Baron because their team is dead. So yeah, get an advantage was the best thing I can get. That's like the story of this game, right? Get an advantage, what's the best thing I can get? And then if the fight breaks out, if people are near each other to hit each other, who's going to win before anything happens? Try and figure out who wins first. I want you to predict that every time. So no one knows if they're on Baron. Turns out they're not. This game is not going well, though, because the later the game goes on, the stronger Master Yi and Corky are, right? So there's like nothing you can do.
Yeah, we win in the end.
Oh my, really? Okay,
yeah.
Probably Katarina Katarina or Swain.
Agreed for our Nexus turrets and we kill them.
Nice. That's a classic. Your Alistar is taking free damage, so you should lose this fight, right? That was wow. Katarina did a lot of damage right there. Maybe it's doable. Okay, everyone's just I can't see anything. What's going on? Okay, wow. You guys are like out tanking them or something. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know.
I can't fucking tell, but you're playing this well, right? You're not suiciding, so this is good, right? As long as you are alive, you have a chance to make something happen, right? So this is good. I have no qualms about your play, and you do Baron. Good. See, this is good. This is good. That was good, right? So like your biggest problems aren't like team fighting or like whatever. Sorry if I sound like a broken record, but the first like 27 minutes was literally push and get something, and then only take these fights when you know if you win or not, right? And then if you don't win, you backping your team, right? Your team is doing something stupid because like someone else's like is 4v5 or whatever. You know it's gonna be 4v5. Everyone runs, right? So.
What do you say to my item build? I chose not to buy Hurricanes because of the Master Yi.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna mention it because it probably doesn't. It doesn't like it hasn't made a difference in this game yet, right? But I personally would have gone Hurricane, right? Hurricane's just really if you can hit multiple targets. So if you press tab sometime here, let me see. So if you look at this, my thinking is unless you are even with Master Yi, that Phantom Dancer isn't going to save you, right? If you had 6 items and Master Yi had 6 items and you had a Bloodthirster, yeah, Phantom Dancer is great. But you need the Runons because you're going to be hitting Gnar and Nautilus, right? Runons is just super good on Kalista. So I would have done like Blade, like if you really wanted armor, you get like the armor boots. But I probably wouldn't have gotten armor boots this game. You want the Blade the Ruin King, Runons, Phantom Dancer, and then maybe like Last Whisper. Yeah. So this is pretty close to what I would have gotten. So I have no complaints, right?
Okay.
Yeah. If the build, you really only look at the builds if they are like losing you the game, right? So okay, this is a bad engage by Corki. Should be a 1 fight as a bad misfortune out. Oh, Katarina kills herself, kind of. Oh wow, okay, you guys won, right? The reason why we knew we won is because okay, we're gonna throw in another like caveat that you don't really need to study yet, but a failed engage is a loss, right? So here, failed engage by Corki is a loss, right? So
yeah, he killed himself pretty much.
Yeah, basically used up like too much stuff for nothing. So it's like what we saw earlier at that dragon play when Alistar used his like combo on like nothing. He used his combo and you guys couldn't follow up. That's a failed engage, right? Failed engage is a loss. So that's like one of the ways you know if you win a fight, an even numbers fight. So you guys are winning the game. Oh wow, this is how you win. Okay, nice. So no qualms about your team fighting, right? The last 3 fights were like team fights. You played it fairly well, right? There's all the stuff that came up beforehand, right? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I have 2 questions for the laning phase. I watched one of your coaching sessions where you said you push or you freeze depending on your support matchup. But in this today, you said you would always try to push.
Yes. So, how long ago did you watch that coaching session? Like, what was its date? Because
I think 3 months ago. I don't know.
Yeah, that's like So, one, my understanding of the game has gotten better, and 2, the meta changes, right? So now my like philosophical, what's it called? My like the way I see the game is now that you just always push, right? So it's pretty much you like never freeze.
Okay.
Because if you're in a state to freeze on them, then you're also in a state to shove them in and do dragon immediately. If they're that weak, you can go like take their jungle and do dragon, right? Instead of freezing. So like freezing, what does freezing do? You basically force them to roam or camp a bush, right? So they're gonna roam on your team, and in solo queue, your team is not gonna respect the roam. So you always push, in my opinion.
Okay. Second question was I have some trouble playing in lane against Blitzcrank and Thresh. I don't know how to position well in the laning phase against them.
So against catch supports, this Blitzcrank Thresh is the same thing with Nautilus, right? You have to assume that they're gonna throw that shit at you, right? Obviously, they're gonna throw their hooks. They're gonna throw Flash Flay, Nautilus hook, whatever. So how do you counter that? You pick something that can counter it, like Tristana, or you pick something like Saber. Or if you get counter picked, right? You picked Kalista and they pick that shit. You have to assume they're always going to go on you, so you have to play safe, right? If you can't push because you have no flash, then you can't push, right? Just try and last hit. That's like it's like we say always push, right? But in certain matchups, right, is impossible, right? Otherwise, the game wouldn't make sense, right? In certain matchups, it's like hard for you to push, so you don't push. You play safe. But one thing you can do as the AD carry is if you like stand to the side of a minion, maybe we can like find an example. We probably can't find an example in time, but if you like bait out their hook, right? If you stand like here and you know he's gonna hook you and you like Q out of it, then you can do whatever you want for 20 seconds, right? Or however long the hook is down. So you can bait it out is what I'm saying. Or you can pretend that you're overextended when your jungler's in this bush and there's a pink ward in it, right? For example, or in this bush, right? Stuff like that. You can always do that. And one thing you should try to do against these kind of catch supports, right? Say you have an Alistar. If they catch you, Alistar saves you by catching the enemy AD carry, right? So in this engage versus engage, the engage that fails loses, right? So they hook you, that's a failed engage because Alistar goes on the other guy, right? If you have a ranged support, you need to generate an HP advantage so that if they try and force on you, they don't have enough HP to do it, right? So say you have like a gen or something. That's the worst case scenario. You try and abuse your shield as much as possible to get as many trades off as possible so that they're low enough HP they can't fight you, right? Stuff like that. It depends on your support, of course, and the AD carry you're playing. But basically, that's like how you play around these engaged supports. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, okay. And the last question is about my champion pick. Should I just play meta champions like Tristana and Jinx? I don't know, because I think I just didn't adjust right to the meta, so I dropped very hard.
I would say that in gold, like honestly, you should play whatever you like best. But I personally only play Tristana right now, and if I can't pick Tristana, okay, so my champion pool is Cog, Twitch, Tristana, right? And right now, Cog and Twitch are always banned, so I just pick Tristana every game. But Kalista is good, right? Kalista is very good if you can mechanically play her. I think you did pretty decent, right? So you can stick with Kalista. Anything that is like good and you enjoy, right? So like no Ezreal, for example. But Kalista is good, right? What else do you play?
What do I play? Tristana sometimes.
Tristana's good, right?
Saber and yeah.
Yeah, these are all fine champions, right? So there's no problem with your champion pool. It's more about like, from what I saw, it was not like the champion picks that kind of like won or lost you the game. It was more like how you played it, right? So I would say it's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Cool. I guess if no further questions, then I guess we'll call it. We'll recap with for what I think you should directly work on. You have like 2 big things, okay? So every time you go into game, every time you go into game, I want you to think push to generate an advantage and then go do something, right? So remember, recite to me, what are your options after you push?
Camp a bush, get deep wards, roam, and hit the turret.
Yes. Those are all good options, right? And then for fights, every time a champion touches another champion, what is your first reaction?
I have to check if we have a numbers advantage.
Yes.
And if the engage doesn't fail.
Right. Okay, those are the big things, right? Those are the big things. If you can focus on those things, right? Push, go do something, right? Just keep thinking about that in game. Push and do something. And the second thing is count how many people in the fight, right? If you can do that, you will solve like almost all of your problems in this game, right? That's what I would recommend. So when you are playing your next 10, 20 games, I want you to like write it down somewhere so you don't forget, right? So you can always like remember every game. Because if you like play without thinking like these things, you're not going to improve, right? If you go into game without actively thinking that you're working on this specific thing, you're not going to improve, right? So if you if you miss like 10, 15 CS because you're thinking about these things, that's fine. Don't worry about that. You need your first and foremost goal is to improve on these 2 big things, and I think you'll do really well, for sure, right? I think you'll do really well because you turned some fights you should not have won, like at this dragon fight. I don't even know, but yeah. I think that'll help you a lot. So
yeah, it does.
If you have any further questions, always hit me up on Discord. I'm always online. But other than that, I hope you luck in your solo queue games. I hope you get that platinum back. I'm sure you can. And let me know how things go.
Okay, thanks.
All right, dude. No problem. Until next time.
Okay, bye.